Welcome to the Whiskey Vault. I'm Daniel Whittington, Chancellor of Wizard Academy Whiskey Marketing School. It's Christmas, ya punks. It's Christmas time. Maybe not this exact episode, I can't remember. But it's Christmas time. And so as we're preparing for Christmas, you know, this is when you find yourself in a room full of hopefully close family and some good friends. Maybe if the gathering is big enough, family that feel sort of like strangers. And not everybody is as whiskey fan as we are. Your mileage may vary. You may be in a room full of people who their only experience with whiskey is Jello shots and Fireball, and or they just think it's gross, or all alcohol is gross, or like any number of things, right? I am in a rare group where the majority of the people I'm going to spend Christmas with are whiskey appreciators at some level. That's a gift. If I go to the wider family gatherings, then I have the family members who are like, "Oh, gross, whiskey, hand me a beer," or "You shouldn't drink. It's against the Lord's will," or like, "Yeah, I'll take that 30-year-old Scotch, sure." Bonk. Man, that's pretty good. It's a little burny though. So we got them all. So I thought, okay, let's talk about 3 possible whiskey approaches as you come into the group as the known whiskey person. And by the way, prepare once again this year to be given random weird whiskey trinkets from all the family members who don't know what to give somebody, but they know you like whiskey. So your 18th set of metal whiskey rocks to chill your glass, or cube forms for ice cubes, or a new fancy whiskey glass that says, "I like whiskey. I may not be everybody's cup of tea, but," or whatever. One, the easiest way to introduce people to whiskey and just make them start, because this is step 1, get people to think fondly when they hear the word whiskey. Step 1, food. Food. Figure out how to make something for the whole group using whiskey that you know everyone will love. That's step 1 in turning everyone's heads into, whiskey. Now, you're not to drinking it neat yet, but you got to start somewhere. 3 that I'm going to recommend right now that you're going to want to just go make as soon as you hear this, as soon as you hear these words, because I'm looking up some good ones that I've had and remembering ones I've had before and writing them down. I was like, oh, I'm hungry now. Whiskey caramel bread pudding with vanilla ice cream. Oh, I'll just let that one sit for a second. Second one, whiskey glazed meats, which are irrelevant to me because I'm vegetarian, but it's a thing, whiskey glazed ham, whiskey glazed steak, what's the sauce that you put over? Anyway, meat with whiskey. Good luck. You can barbecue glaze or sauce glaze or whatever. Hot whiskey butter for pancakes and waffles. Do yourself a favor, look that one up. It's awesome. You'll eat way too many pancakes. By the way, there was a little trick about pancakes I didn't know. Did you know that if you make pancakes, I was told this, you guys all know this probably. You make too many pancakes, you freeze them, but you don't stack them all in, and you don't wait until they cool down. This is the trick. You keep all your pancakes you're making warm in the oven so that as everyone's waking up, you're just handing out pancakes and it's still at like 200 degrees in the oven and they're just warm and ready to go. When there's still some left over, you take wax paper and you just pancake, wax paper, pancake, wax paper, pancake, put it in a Ziploc, air seal it, freeze it. You can microwave those pancakes and they taste like you just made them. I shit you not. It's amazing. I do it with my boys all the time because I'll make like 10 pancakes and then I'll still have some for like the next day and the next morning for a while. All right, number 3, whiskey and mixed drinks. This one's a no-brainer. If you're gonna start someone off, start them with a mixed drink. It's helpful. It takes the edge off. Who doesn't like an old-fashioned? But also don't forget about Manhattans, because you can do a Manhattan with rye and it's classic and Christmassy. You can do a Manhattan with bourbon and it's more sweet and vanilla. You can do a Manhattan with Scotch. It's called a Rob Roy. By the way, Monkey Shoulder makes a great Rob Roy. So does Johnny Walker Black, makes a great smoky Rob Roy. And hot toddies. I mean, I know people who don't even drink that know hot toddies because it's like a old wives' tale, like folk remedy for cold and flu. I'm going to drink this one, and then we'll talk about the third way, if people are finally ready to be like, you know what, show me what this thing's all about. We're drinking Clonakilty. Clonakilty is a relatively new distillery, opened in 2019, just in time for COVID. Yay! And it's the Scully family that have farmed. They brought in old barley and started making like heritage barley on their own farm. They were going to use it for their own whiskey. At the time that I first encountered them, they were sourcing everything because they didn't have any of their own product. Now they've released their own stuff. This is a gift from Irene Tan, because she's a kind and gracious human being. Under her whiskey name, the Whiskey Minters, she traveled to Clonakilty, got to become friends with them, and got to do her own barrel selection and bottling with them. And she named it Whiskey Cake. And I thought, or Christmas Cake, and I thought that'd be appropriate for this video. She left it behind for us to try, and I'm really excited about it. She said it is, as far as you know, 40% 5-year-old Irish malt, single malt, and 60% 11-year-old Irish grain, most likely both from Bushmills. Most likely, not a guarantee. So 5-year-old single malt, 11-year-old grain whiskey, finished in Rivasol barrels, which is a dessert wine in the direction of Muscat, but it doesn't require Muscat grapes, and it can be white or red, but it's a dessert wine. And when the barrels are emptied, they put this whiskey into it for 14 months. Son of a gun, that smells amazing. I was really hoping that Irene was right and this was Christmas Cake and it would be perfect for a Christmas video. And man, is it. And I don't think that you're probably going to be able to get your hands on it, but Clonakilty has been blending great whiskey and doing a really good job of it. It's a brand to watch for sure. So, oh, come on. Buttercream, deep dark fruit, jammy Dodgers, shortbread, really rich, heavy stone fruits, dark plums, fig, slight dried bitter chocolate. And then I'm going to do Irene's palate thing. That's the most Christmas desserty whiskey I have had in a very long time. That is almost more Rivasol than it is whiskey. Like, there's been some whiskeys that I've had that were like cognac finished or brandy finished, or they were like port finished. And then I've gone like, oh, this is port with some whiskey in it. The Rivasol is a heavy impact on this, but it's turning it delicious. Man, it just rolls across the entire palate, front to back. It's like 50% through the front of the palate, then it rolls all the way wide, and then it goes across all the way back through the middle and the back third. Yeah, it sort of skips the first half of the front, and then wham, crosses everything. Pure dessert. And it is 57%. Here we go. I'm going to add some real water to that. Let it soft. Ah! That ruined it. It just made it like just pure sugar candy and sweetened, and none of the bitiness that I was liking from it. It's fine. Mike, when you walk over here, don't slip and fall and sue us. Okay. That's a great whiskey. Good choice, Irene. Not surprising. Third option for whiskey. This is when it gets serious. Find your smaller group. Break this up into smaller. This is not for the whole family. This is not for you to convince people. This is not for you to force people to try things. This is when you walk around and you quietly find the people in the family gathering who would be interested in this and be like, hey, you know what, after dinner, you want to do this thing? And then I'm like, yeah, sure. And then everybody else can bring whatever they want to drink if they want to hang out and listen to stories. Pick a smaller group of whiskey curious, pour at least 3 whiskeys, 4 max. 3 is, honestly, really 3 is great for a group like this. Make them totally different if you can, like bourbon Scotch rye or peaty not peaty, just variations so people can experience different things. And then only give 3 or 4 sentence stories, not facts, stories about each whiskey. What's the story behind each one of these whiskeys? Maybe it has a fact in it. I would avoid like production information or anything like that. Just a story, right? Like if it was Clonakilty, I would say, all right, this is a whiskey from the southwest rugged coast of Ireland. It's one of the newer ones, and it's from a family farm where they're making their own whiskey. Now, they sourced this one, but this is a family trying to make their mark in the Irish whiskey industry. And they're sourcing from Bushmills, which you may have heard of, some of it, and then they're finishing in a wine cask. See, just a little bit of facts, but it's mostly a story of things. And then stop talking. And then just try to helpfully guide people through, what are you smelling? What about this? What do you smell this? How would you describe that? And let them try to have their sensory experience. And then move to the next one. Make this last no longer than 30 minutes, 10 minutes per whiskey. Keep it short, right? And then all bets are off. If anybody's like, this is actually kind of fun, let's try, then do whatever the hell you want. But the formal part of this, just like a miniature micro whiskey tasting, short story, tasting notes, short story, tasting notes, short story, tasting notes. It really works, but be careful. Don't be the one that gets grandma trashed this year. Cheers to you. I'm really glad you're here. All right, the fourth thing you can do at Christmas is take your family's cell phone when they're not looking, hack into it, open up YouTube, and like and subscribe to this channel. You're welcome. It'll be the gift that keeps on giving.